Hey everyone, I'm just here for a quick video today talking about the Fragment event that we have going on and what I think you should be prioritizing for free-to-play. Now, obviously everyone's going to be in different positions, but I think in general when people are asking for free-to-play advice, either they're early or very early mid-game players, and that's kind of what I'm going to focus on here. So the kind of player that I'm looking at is going to basically be able to do the classic arena no problem. They will have saved up enough silver so that the artifact events are no problem. And in terms of dungeons, what they can do is they can do up to, let's say, 16 dragon and around the same place in Ice Golem. But for Fire Knight and Spider, they're struggling around 10 or 11. So they're not doing very well on those, but that's kind of unsurprising, right? I think you should be focusing on dragon, and the same types of teams that work on dragon tend to do fairly well on Ice Golem. So assuming that you can do both of those isn't too far of a stretch if that's what you've been focusing on. Then past that, I'm not going to assume that you have a ton of shards, right? Like, I'm not even going to assume that you have this much, but I am going to assume that you have enough shards that you can get about 1,000 points in both the Summon Rush and the Champion Chase. And that's not going to be too bad if you have been using your mystery shards properly. So, like, for instance here, being able to save up this many mystery shards is not hard. So that's kind of what I think you should be at. So with it in mind, let's just take a quick look at what I think is possible. And to do that, I actually want to use this, because this is just a really easy way to look at what's going on, rather than looking at the event calendar in-game, just looking at what's going on here. So I'm going to assume that the average person is going to be trying to get exactly 100 of these fragments, and I'm additionally going to assume that they're not going to try to get first or second place in any of the tournaments. So you only have the points that are here, which is 10, 20, 25, 35, 40, 65, 80, 95, 100, 105, 110, and then 120 total. So basically what that means is there are exactly 20 fragments that we can basically ignore. So right off the bat, there's no way we're going to try to get 25 points in Summon Rush. Right? So if we're only assuming that we can get about 1,000 points in Summon Rush, we're only going to get 15 fragments from that. And that's an event that's live now, so we already know that that's doable, right? It's 1,070 points. Something I'm going to assume is the 15 from Champion Chase is going to only take you 1125 Champion Chase points. The reason I say that is if we look at the Drop Goal fusion, we had that, where's Champion Chase? Champion Chase here, there was 15, it was for 1150 points. So that was the most recent one. Even further is if we look at the Kreela fragment events, and we look at Champion Chase, there were points for first, second, and third. That's not what we care about here, but there was 5 and then 10 points at 250, then 1150. So I'm just going to assume that we can get those 15 points relatively easy. So there's 10 points that we're not getting, and that means that we can afford to try to plan our strategy so that we are using as few gems as possible, so just the resources we've saved up and that we're going to get from a daily basis to get all of these points. Now, the Dungeon Divers, you're going to be able to do just by the sheer fact that, you know, you're doing all of the other stuff. So I'm going to assume that everyone can get the Dungeon Divers. I'm going to assume that you can do Artifact Enhancement and Arena. So from there, we now have 10 points, and it turns out it's just these 3 tournaments and then this tournament and then the Champion Chase, or Champion Training stuff. My advice, and this is what I did on my account, and I'll talk about that in a later video, is the Dragon was actually relatively straightforward. So it was 1,000 points. So if you're doing it at 16, you're looking at about 1,000 energy, maybe a little bit more. So that's not exactly easy, but if you've been saving up your energy, you should actually have already been done with it by now if you've been playing today. Now, so that means the Dragon's not going to be difficult. Once you've taken care of Dragon, we now see that Champion Training is available, and I would highly, highly suggest just using all of your energy, using your XP boost, and going as hard as you can to try to finish the Champion Training event. Even when the Ice Golem tournament starts, all of your energy should be towards the Champion Training. And the reason that I'm saying that is because if you can get these 15 points, then there are 10 points between these 20 that's available. And something that seems fairly convenient to me is November 6th, the only thing that you can be spending your energy on is Ice Golem. So if you can use the energy you get on November 6th to get the first 5 fragments from Ice Golem, then that means all of the energy that you want to use for the rest of the fragment of it can go towards either Spider or Champion Training, whichever one your account is going to be able to do better. There's a reasonable chance that you'll want to do Champion Training because you're going to be opening Mystery Shards for Champion Chase. So to make room, you're going to have to level up food anyway. So I would encourage you to do that. So what that really means is that for a free-to-play account, what I think you should be doing is taking Dragon, getting it done as quickly as you can, and then spending all of your energy here. So that means you're going to skip the Spider tournament entirely, and for Ice Golem, you're only going for the first 5 fragments. Now, obviously, this is more problematic if you can't get 1,000 points in both Summon Rush and Champion Chase. However, keep in mind, there is Champion Training going on during both Summon Rush and the Champion Chase, which means you're even more incentivized to be opening Mystery Shards and farming in the campaign to get more Mystery Shards for food so that you can do those Champion Training, both event and tournament. So that's what I would suggest, and that's what I'm going to be doing on this free-to-play account. So I am already to the point where I have finished Dragon. So I've gotten my 1,000 points, got my Fragment. I have not done basically anything at all, just what was going on in the sparring pit for Champion Training so far. So I've got 61 points. So I've recently put stuff into the sparring pit. But this just means that now I will be, and I can go ahead and do it right now, I'm going to go into my advanced quest, grab this 3 days worth of XP, and all of this energy here, all of this energy here, all of the energy here, and then this is going to pop up to be to the 5th, so that this will be done and I'll get even more energy here. All of that's just going to Champion Training, plus anything else that I have left in my inbox. So we've gotten energy the last few days and from some events and such. All of that's going towards Champion Training, and then any energy from other tournaments and events are going right into it as well. And that's just for Champion Training. And I think that is probably the best way to go ahead and try to get this fragment done for a free-to-play player. If you disagree, if you think that maybe you should be focusing more on Ice Golem than I think, go ahead and let me know either below or in Discord or on Reddit. I read all of those places. But in any case, thanks for watching. If you want to catch me live, I do stream every night, Sunday through Thursday, about an hour before server reset. And that's at 6 Central Time. 7 is the reset. And thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you live.